Marion Evans didn't take long to stamp his mark all over the historic trophy field through the first day of the Silver Fern Rally. He and Leston Williams were 10 seconds clear of Englishman Matthew Robinson, and a third escort and fastest Kiwi Jeff Judd was just 3 seconds behind. But next stage, Marion Evans was stamping his mark all over the scenery, sliding down the leaderboard to 9th.
Just clipped the post on the inside. So slippery and wet because it's raining obviously, and I was turning into the corners a bit quicker than what I should, a bit sooner, just so I can allow for a bit of slippiness. But yeah, on one I just turned in a bit too early and just clipped just a wooden stick. Nothing major, just flipped this round, and obviously you can see a little bit of, we'll sort that out, no problem.
That left Robinson with the historic lead over Judd, but the Cantabrian was having clutch issues which only got worse and cost him more than a minute in SS4.
A bit of pain, but one of those things.
Oh, you got a good team?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So Robinson caught past us in that stage, but I knew he would. I told him, you know, what our problem was, and I said I may not be able to play this straight away because I need to be able to keep momentum up.
Yep.
So he was good. Pushed the pass early, and yeah.
Oh. Shane Merlin's opening account for the rally left him feeling in need of exercise.
How's that opening stage?
That was good. Yeah, just showed up that I should have been at the gym all year.
UK's Simon Tyso's times reflected the fact he hadn't been on gravel since the last Silver Fern, over 2 minutes slower than the leaders, and he spent the day looking for his old form. The battle and challenge seesawed all day, 2 rounds to Brent Taylor early on, but Brian Stokes snatched the next and the lead by lunch. Regular frontrunner in challenge, Dave Strong, struggled from the start, bleeding time to the other category competitors.
Not fast enough. Another 2 years older maybe. I don't know. The pace that I set wasn't good enough. Simple as that. Charlie
Evans upset the challenge apple cart after lunch, snatching a win through SS6 with some spirited driving on the RX-7. But with Taylor back on top in the final stage, he pulled the lead from Stokes by 2.8 seconds for the day.
I sometimes look in the mirror and see if he's there or not, and I noticed that this morning he was there all the time, which you know, you can sort of let that get in your head, or you can just ignore it, and I just chose to ignore it. And probably our strategy today is we've got a whole bunch of tyres that have been sitting in a container at the farm for a long time, and we were determined to see if they'd work. And you know, we did this afternoon on a couple of right-handed, very hard Dunlops about them and 10 years old that I'd bought cheap, you know, so, and we wore them right to nothing. So, you know, I was pretty happy, to be honest. The car felt fantastic to drive.
The damage to Marion Evans' car only spurred the Welshman on. His afternoon speed secured top 4 places in all 3 stages. Jeff Judd bounced back as well, but then he too bounced off a rock, bent the steering and a rim, but it hardly slowed his progress. Despite Shane Merlin's concerns about fitness, he remained inside the top 4 all day to finish second outright.
It's been really great, actually, to be honest. It's something that's just, we started out not having driven for a couple of years, and we got into a bit of a rhythm, and it's turned out to be the right sort of speed, so it's all come together well.
At the end of day 1, it's Matthew Robinson who's clearly in charge of a historic trophy class. But like his co-driver Sam Collis reminded him today as he held the car flat over a blind crest, there's 7 more days to go. The big news to open the second day was the change in the challenge leadership. First Taylor with his throttle cable, then Brian Stokes surrendering his lead to Charlie Evans, a man who loves the intensity of Silver Fern rallies.
Not having any problems with the car at all. It's a whole week of rallying, isn't it? Every day you get up and you go rallying. Nothing better.
Mike Goldsbury, in only his first Silver Fern, is now at the 3rd in challenge as a result of some consistent driving and the topsy-turvy day for the others. Mind you, he did have a moment himself.
Interesting day. We clipped the post on the second stage this morning and did a bit of damage on the front end, but other than that, it's been pretty good.
Dave Strong is next, best of the rest, but an oil light caused the stop to top up the engine and dropped him 10 minutes behind the fastest car for the day. In historic, Matthew Robinson continued to dominate, winning 3 of the 4 morning stages to extend his lead. The next 3 cars, Merland, Judd and the hard-charging Marion Evans, are all within 30 seconds of each other, still a massive 5 minutes behind the class leader. Both Evans and Robinson were quickest through SS10 and both clipped the same bank.
Everybody's saying we're going to fly off the track, but I honestly think we're within our comfort zone. I do honestly. We've not done anything really wrong. We've bent the car at the back a little bit. You know, tyres were cold, probably a little bit too keen into a corner, but no. I think we're well within. If the car keeps going, I think I could get it through the stages. I know that on the law of averages, something's probably going to catch us out, but at the pace we're going, I honestly believe I could. If the car holds together, I think I can get us through.
Shane Merlin did beat the Yorkshireman home in SS11, but straight after lunch he diverted to check the mail and let Robinson back in for another stage win through 12. That stage was later stopped when Peter Sharmack's Escort caught fire, forcing the remainder of the field to transport through. Heavy rain greeted the teams on the west coast for the 29 k's of SS13. Muggy, wet temperatures caused huge issue with windscreens fogging and a few heart-and-mouth moments for drivers trying to push on in the treacherous conditions.
It was torrential rain when we left, and within a few hundred metres the car just fogged up as soon as the exhaust heat and everything came up, so we had no visibility. So I saw lots of guys had slow times, so I'd say they all had the similar problems. Stokesy got passed, I know, by Marion, so his was shocking all the way through. Ours cleared, but then we had a big spin on the tarmac, which was quite fun. Sort of 360, and then I stalled, and then I started again in third and stalled again, so comedy of errors.
Once again, Matthew Robinson looked fast and in form, but it was the returning Marion Evans who set the stage alight this time, home by 34 seconds. He did it again on the last stage of the day before teams converged on New Plymouth for the overnight stop. If yesterday was all about the changes in challenge, then day 3 was all about the changes in historic trophy. Despite the impending wet weather, the day started fine for Matthew Robinson. Marion Evans was quicker by 19 seconds through the first stage, but Robinson returned fire to take the next, only to have Evans apply the pressure and grab the stage win coming into the lunchtime service. Marion Evans wasn't giving anything away, but his teammate Roger Chilman, driving Evans' 2016 winning Escort, was having a mixed morning.
Well, the car obviously is fantastic, and Marion has told me that I've got to look after it and not dent it. So we're doing all right with that so far. When we just keep out of trouble and keep it on the straight and narrow, we seem to be capable of setting some all right times. So we'll see if we can find some more third fastest.
Medium right onto a single lane bridge again. Medium right.
So, speaking of keeping it on the straight and narrow, I hear a rumour you had a wee moment.
Yeah, we did. We dropped, I don't know, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. We were just coming up to a crest and we were far too quick into a left-hander. Fortunately, there was a cattle grid and a drive straight ahead. So we went through the tape and did a little pirouette in the field and then came back out again. So it was all okay, but we don't want too many of those.
So what did the boss think?
About the mistake, I don't think.
I can't say anything.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
That's a silly question, though.
He did manage third fastest time through SS18. Every Silver Fern in the position of fifth has almost always been the domain of Brent Rostrom, and this year looks like being right on track. Certainly sheltering from the rain at service would have you think he was in his comfort zone.
Yeah, we set out to a certain policy for this event. We wanted to do all the stages without stopping, which would be a complete rarity. We've done 7 Silver Ferns, done all of them, and in each event we've stopped on at least one stage. So far it's working well. We've done 2.5 days and we haven't stopped, which is kind of cool. And yeah, we just like being around that sort of 6th, 7th position overall for the classics. You then have a road position around 8, 9, 10, 12, which is really kind of cool.
Ironically, he would finish the day in 5th. Challenge leader Charlie Evans had Brent Taylor right on his tail in the opening round, but the GT86 driver had his measure next stage. Brian Stokes, who'd been holding down second outright, failed to finish SS20 after lunch, allowing Fern rookie Mike Goldsberry up into second. And previous challenge winner Dave Strong elevated to third. Any thoughts of another win for Strong will need the 18-minute gap reduced over the next 5 days. Everything happened for Historic though in SS20. Jeff Judd was first to the midpoint. No car 1 or car 2, they'd both been caught out within the first few kilometres of the stage. Lead car on the road, Matthew Robinson, found the tightening corner first.
Alright.
That's us done, I'm afraid.
Both okay?
Yeah.
Sam Collis attempted to get out of the car, but was forced back by an incoming Shane Merland. Merlin's escort cleared Robinson's, rolled into the Blackberries and out of the event. All Robinson needed was a tow, and that wasn't far away. Matthew, you'll be pretty pleased to see this back in service?
Not as pleased as I want to see that farmer with the tractor, I'll tell you. Unbelievable. Where we went off, there was a house, and the guy came out, he had his quad bike there, and he said he's got a tractor, and I said work till the last car's gone, that's spot on. I said, get that rope on there as quick as you can. And the recovery guys came, put a winch on it as well, so it didn't, because it was on the point of falling over, you see where it was. So the farmer, he put a strap onto the wheel, the winch guy pulled it as well. We were out, we're back in the car and we were gone.
Jeff Judd had been next on the scene, but managed to avoid joining what could have been a car park.
Well, it was a reasonably fast approach to sort of I'd call it a right kink, and I hung my rear wheel off and nearly went in and joined Robinson, because at that stage I only knew he was in there. I didn't realise Merlin was in there until we got to the finish. I sort of thought there weren't that many marks on the road, but yeah, Stefan told me there was something white down there, and then we realised it was Shane.
We just sort of went down and rolled into the Blackberry. That was a very soft sort of landing. This 8-foot high Blackberry.
So yesterday was getting the mail and today was picking blackberries.
Picking blackberries, yeah. Well, my wife loves making blackberry jam. I just tried to get her some blackberries.
And if the day wasn't exciting enough, believe it or not, Peter Sharmack had another fire. This time at the front of the car at final check-in in Owakuni. Fortunately, plenty of dry powder on hand and time to make more repairs tonight. Likewise, Robinson is in for repairs too. Not to the bodywork after his off, but the BDG engine that they're going to replace overnight.
That's what it's there for, so we'll have to use it.
Overnight challenge leader Charlie Evans out with a blown diff. meant Fern rookie Mike Goldsberry was now in charge. He had Dave Strong hunting him down, but Strong was being hunted himself, and by lunch the lead changed again.
Hey, listen, I wish Mike best of luck, and I think that he's driving really, really well, and we'll be trying our best to keep him honest through the event.
Jeff Judd was second to Marion Evans in Historic, but he was sidelined in 24 with distributor issues. He managed to rejoin, only to have the engine drop a valve the next stage. Englishman Roger Chilman moved up a place behind Evans. With Matthew Robinson back up to third. The ever-consistent Porsche of Brad McFarlane still just outside the podium places. South African Jeff Bell took a ride on the wild side through 25 and was lucky to rejoin later in the day.
Just too fast over a brow into a right-hander and couldn't get round the corner. The slid off and the back went over the edge and it tipped over down. What was funny was we hit a big rock and it came rolling down and bonk, hit the car as well.
The lead changed again through SS26 when Marion Evans went wide, trying to drive more conservatively and avoid cutting the North Island's tight corners. But that wasn't successful either, dropping the nose of the BDG into a ditch, forced to wait for a tow.
Purely trying to protect a 5-minute lead and not committing to the inside of the corners, not committing to the apex, and slipped wide and fell off. I'm a kind of driver that needs controlling. It's difficult to hold me back when I need to go back, but it was difficult to, yeah.
His teammate Roger Chilman snatched his first stage win, 5 seconds clear of Matthew Robinson, who has now moved back into second less than 24 hours after he crashed out while leading. Unbelievably, he is only 2 minutes behind historic lead, and well pleased he took the precaution of changing the engine last night. The fastest of the Aussie Pipe King cars was also sporting a new engine, and that kept David Hills in the top 10 by the end of the day.
Yeah, mate, about 2 k's in the last stage. She decided to go bang, but the boys worked last night at about 2 o'clock in the morning, put the new one in, and she's all good to go today.
There was plenty of news throughout the rest of the field. Chris Ramsey down a couple of cylinders most of the day and looking for an engine change tomorrow. Steve Cox in the Starlet, out with electrical issues, but he'll be back. And Campbell Wright, who'd only just rejoined League 4 after replacing an engine in the last 36 hours, clouted a bank in SS26.
Well, I'd like to think it could have been a mechanical steering sort of an issue, but probably in reality the driver ran out of talent.
It's been a big day in the office today. We're here in Palmerston North, the cars are in Parc Ferme, no service tonight, but a 4-hour service in the morning, and by looks of things, there's a bit of work to do. It might have been a short day, but it had a marked effect on the leaderboard. SS29 was Carnage City. Historic leader Welshman Roger Chilman, driving the 2016 winning car, sidelined with a broken axle.
On, watch out, iron out.
No, this is a bit of a rushed emergency service. So we're in there, we've broken a shaft, and the end of the shaft is in the diff, and it's difficult to get out, so we're just changing the diff. So hopefully we can get this done as soon as we can, and try and make it to the next stage. So that's the plan.
That meant Matthew Robinson was back in control of Historic, although he was first on the road.
The gravel was terrible, Derek. It was 1 inch, 2 inch thick in places, you know. And with it being a nice day, no rain or anything, it was as loose as hell. And I was struggling for traction badly. And, you know, of course, I knew the other guys were parked up as well, so I didn't think it had to be in too much of a rush, to be honest. But, yeah, no, it was a lot of gravel.
Marion Evans' love affair with the Kiwi roadside continued, clipping a culvert.
It's just part and parcel of being first on the road and being a sweeper, I'm afraid. We just got caught out on the loose stuff and got dragged in and hit a culvert. So that's it, end of the day.
Their demise meant Evans could help repair Roger Chilman's axle and get him back in the race. With the competition cars falling away around him and running further down the field, Simon Tyso claimed stage 29. Tyso looked like making it back-to-back wins, but a determined Chilman made a last-minute appearance just before stage close and, complete with a new rear axle, blitzed the field running over a swept road. He repeated the trick in the final stage too. Mike Goldsberry had a hard-charging Brent Taylor on his tail, but lost the stage win despite a couple of moments from Taylor and a car blocking the road.
Yeah, we on the first stage today, very slippery, and we've come around a corner and found Merrin's car partway blocking the road, carrying too much speed, tried to slow down in time and couldn't, and we've hit him side on, flipped us around, and we're able to recover, get on and keep going. But yeah, very frustrating.
Taylor and third place Dave Strong both took more time out of Goldsberry's overall lead through SS30, but the Hamiltonian remains on top. And an engine change for Chris Ramsey overnight had little effect on the challenge placings. It's been a really tough day on cars. Campbell Wright had another go at wrecking the V-dub, hitting a stump.
There was a cone there. Unfortunately, by the time I spotted the cone, I had a fair bit of commitment on, and there was no going around it.
Marion Evans also threatens to return tomorrow, as he has done after every issue he's had so far, no doubt with more race tape on the Wales Motorsport Escort. Brian Green and Fleur Pedersen have been playing the Simon Tyso game, consistent and conservative, waiting for the rally to come to them, and it has been, until the engine expired.
I think it might be the end of the road. The car's just running very hot at the moment, that's all, but we'll have a look, see what we can do. Yeah, never know.
Tomorrow's another day, and we'll count the casualties when they get set to leave Palmerston North in the morning. If Mike Goldsberry brought a knife to a gunfight at this event, then he was making a real go of it despite some electrical gremlins creeping in this morning.
We've got a bit of a misfire we can't get to the bottom of. We're just changing the igniter now and hopefully that solves it, but we won't really know until we get into stage.
He held onto an ever-decreasing challenge lead over Brent Taylor, who wasn't letting up the pressure until the final stage when Taylor stuck the GT86 off-road, a cave from the end of the day.
Ambition exceeded ability. Unfortunately, yeah, we were going really well. It's a beautiful stage, and I was just carrying too much speed. I should have pulled back, but it was just flowing so well. Came down, tightening right-handed downhill, and just dropped the wheel into the water table, and I thought I had it. And all of a sudden it kicked back up the other way, and it went back, and then I thought I had it again, and then it just turned around on me and I backed it down the road.
Running further down the field, Chris Ramsey has his hands full, chasing down Peter Sharmack and arrives soon after, but not before passing Kevin Blackley, who's just rolled within metres of Taylor's off.
Luckily enough, our teammate came along and helped pull us out.
That not only relieved the pressure on Goldsberry, it let former class winner Dave Strong into second in a rally that has more pace than normal.
It's faster than the pace I've got. You know, I'm driving really hard without taking any risks, and the time's just not there. You know, I think it's the roads just don't suit a front-wheel drive car. I just can't get the power down. I'm just wheel spinning.
So Dave, you were third fastest through the last stage.
Well, I'm getting desperate. I tried some different tyres, some skinnier tyres, because I suspect that the tyres I've got aren't biting into the road. So I tried some little, what we call pizza cutters, tractor tyres, And wow, it was a different car. Could give it heaps of throttle, heaps of control. I was speechless. I couldn't believe, because it wasn't the road that I should have put them on for. So I thought I knew everything after having this car for 15, 20 years or whatever it is. But you know, you just got to try things.
Running third on the road, historic leader Matthew Robinson from Yorkshire was well pleased to have a Welshman sweeping the fast country roads of gravel. Still, other than the first, Chilman, ever the cool customer behind the wheel, won every other stage, including taking a minute out of Robinson on the final stage of the day. Brad McFarlane answered the charge from Simon Tyso early on, extending his lead from 5 seconds to 16 before lunch, only to have the ever-reliable Porsche cry enough through SS36.
Well, the gearbox let go in the previous stage and we only had first and second, so we're trying to drive through this one. And it's pumped its oil out and then caught fire, so that's kind of our rally.
Tyso's rally is certainly coming to him, now up into third, but he'll have to watch Brent Rostron, who's just a minute 34 behind him.
The rally's a marathon, and just going out there and driving and keeping the car in one piece and doing it, it has actually been a big surprise, isn't it? Here we are now sat in third. We were having a little bit of a battle earlier on with the Porsche. Co-driver was getting a bit excited because we were losing a bit of time, and I just, don't worry about it, we'll just cruise, you know. And people are having problems in the stages, and we're not, you know, we're having no dramas or nothing, and then the Porsches had gearbox problems. You know, it's sad, but there you go.
Keith Stewart, aka Yeti, is up into 7th outright in historic and leading the 1600 class, defending his 2016 title.
We're still only 3/4 of the way through the event. We've got the equivalent of 2 full club rallies left for the next 2 days, so it's a very long way to go.
Another day of drama for many of the remaining competitors. The Silver Fern living up to its reputation as a real marathon rally.
So what's that all about?
I have no idea. He's my customer, he's a good fella.
Charlie Evans' second coming was short-lived, lasting just one stage before the Rotary and the RX-7 decided not to play ball. This time, it was final. For everyone else, the roads between Hawke's Bay and Gisborne were standout with universal support.
Absolutely fantastic. To be quite honest, one of your compatriots told us at the beginning of the rally that it was very, very twisty. In actual fact, they were just far, far better than we ever expected them to be. Okay, there's the odd twisty one, but the one before lunch today, I thought that was the best stage I'd ever done in my whole life, until I did the stage after lunch, and that probably just beat it.
Absolutely beautiful. I think everybody enjoyed it. Be very surprised if he didn't. Even at my level, I mean, I had a great time, right? It was fast flowing, there's corners in there, tight spots as well. A good variation. Whereas the first 3-4 days, didn't need a roadbook. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off you went. Da 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 da. You know? And yeah, boring.
Yeah, awesome race today, especially the first one after lunch was probably the best stage of the rally so far, I think. Nice and open, you could actually read the roads, see where they're going, so that was awesome.
Been fantastic route today. Lovely flowing roads, particularly the last one was just fantastic. Got my mojo back on that one. I don't know, the start of the day where it was very slippery and trying to get through to the end tomorrow was being a little bit too cautious. But now, the last one, really enjoyed it, flying it properly.
Oh, they were bloody excellent. Yeah, probably, in the actual fact, probably the best days roads in my opinion anyway. They were sort of a lot faster, more flowing, less lock-to-lock type of stuff. So for us old guys, that's a hell of a lot easier on us, that's for sure. So very enjoyable.
From a competition perspective, there were no major changes at the top. Without Brent Taylor breathing down his neck, challenge leader Mike Goldsberry was able to catch his breath, although it was hardly showing. It will take a serious mishap from Goldsberry for Dave Strong to move higher than second, but he has a big lead over third place Taylor. No changes in historic either. The frenetic pace has eased now without the pressure of Marion Evans.
A few people have dropped out, and it seems to everybody's probably trying to get to the end now, not break the cars, as I am as well. So we've set a couple of decent times today, but yeah, you sort of get the end in sight, don't you? Well, it's not the end till it's the end, but it's still a fair way away. But yeah, you feel like it's coming towards the end of the rally, and you should be calming it down a little bit. But we'll head off in the morning, try and put 2 or 3 decent stage times in, and then roll it off after then. And just try and get it through the stage without breaking it, or getting a pick. You could pick up a punch or anything, couldn't you? So that's what I think's on the agenda for tomorrow, Derek.
There isn't much second place Roger Chilman can do to close the gap to Robinson, but he's pragmatic about what the result might bring tomorrow.
Matthew had about 8 or 9 minutes lead on us, so capturing that time back is always going to be difficult. And yesterday we had a bit of a push and we took nearly a minute out of him on the last stage yesterday, but in all reality we were thinking that we might have been able to put a bit of pressure on him, but we weren't even able to do that. So today I think we've been steady. Matthew's probably been steady, and I think Simon in third has been probably doing the same. So it's a long event, so you've got to look after the car as well. So you kind of naturally find where you are in the playground, and we've found our place, and we've just got to try and get to the end.
Simon Tyso's clean mechanical run started to unravel today, so he's exercising his right to service the Escort tonight.
Up to now we've had a trouble-free rally, no problems. We put a starter motor on it yesterday, and I've been waiting for my day to appear with no problems, and today it has. Second stage alternator this morning, so we sorted that out, and then this afternoon in the last stage, halfway through, we lost the clutch, foot to the floor. So we kept it going and managed to get out of there, but yeah, I think we dropped a little bit of time, but not too much.
Just 1 day and 6 stages remain, finishing with the infamous Motu used in the WRC and Heatway rallies of old. The official finish will be in Rotorua late tomorrow. Still plenty to play for. Mike Goldsberry's electrical gremlins let Dave Strong into the challenge lead by the end of the second stage today, but Goldsberry let his driving do the talking to reverse the positions by lunch.
So Mike let you in a bit this morning, but he's grabbed it back. Deserves it.
We're doing everything we can, and we want to get to the end in front.
Roger Chilman was quickest in historic, but Matthew Robinson was pacing himself, protecting his lead. The importance of historic rallying down under, and specifically this marathon, is not lost on Simon Tyso's co-driver Paul Morris.
Classic rallying is very big in the UK and Europe, and we need to make it worldwide, so I think it's good that the UK competitors
travelled across the world to do this rally.
So what do you say to someone back home that's thinking about entering the Silver Fern?
100% come and do it.
It's also special for Zero Car driver Greg Paul, especially here at Metawai School for lunchtime service.
I attended this school as a youngster in 1962 to 1967, and I'm just looking around now, I'm seeing quite a few familiar faces actually. The lunch was amazing, venison and sausages and bits and pieces. I mean, this brings back a lot of memories for me. This is a fantastic local community. I did actually drive past the road today on the special stage, and yeah, one of the old girlfriends lived up the road. In fact, the road was named after her. How about that?
Everything today was pointing to a class win for Steve Cox and Laurie Brentsell in the 1300cc class. And with Keith Stewart failing to finish the last day, another trophy goes to the United Kingdom. John Midgley and John Pullen win the 1600 class. Mike Goldsberry did what he said. He'd go for it, beating home former challenge winner Dave Strong.
How you feeling? Pretty good actually. A bit nervous? Yeah, she was a bit nerve-wracking through there, but it's a neat stage, first time. So, and we managed to pass Dave in there.
The best way for him to win, isn't it?
Thanks, Dave.
Well, it won't be the last time, I'm sure.
Our fastest man on the road and historic for the last 3 days has been Roger Chilman, but he would never seriously close the gap to Matthew Robinson after breaking an axle.
Yeah, it's on stage yet, and delighted to be at the end. We've had a lot of fun, but delighted to be here.
Is that good enough? Yeah?
Yeah, mate.
That was the steadiest ride of my life. Jesus, what a place.
Some achievement, I think, after 8 days rallying. Some stages that I was as nervous as hell.
So the marathon Silver Fern Rally is finally over and teams will now head home.
For some, they've ticked off their lifelong bucket list. For others, they'll need to regroup and plan their next attack. That attack will take place 2 years from now. On behalf of Black Magic Media, we hope you've enjoyed the coverage and we'll see you again in 2020.
Michael presents one. Get off my stick. Silver Fern Rally 2018. Our brilliant winners.